the passive one, I kind of want us to go on a break and think about this one, because we all know them. I know that I've definitely been one, and others may have been that way as well. But essentially, it just helps you to understand it, because these things can become personalities that hold you back inside yourself. So you don't push yourself as you should do. And you might be scared to do various things, and you could be easygoing because you're really being a passive narcissist. You created an entity that is literally letting everyone get by so that you don't feel harmed. If people like you, they treat you or think of you in a certain way, then they're going to be less likely to disrespect you in another way. And it's good for people around you, but you in turn feel it because the entity is feeding off you. The passive narcissist is the less talked about one, and is seen as a good trait, even at the expense of the person. The people pleaser, who protects themselves by working from the concept of, can we all just get along? They are understanding, they are caring, they are quick to sacrifice their needs for the greater good. They may want to be liked, however, it's not always that they feel inferior to others. This personality can be tracked back to being the first child, the only child, or the third child. As the first child, you may have been given the responsibility of looking after, they may have been given the responsibility of looking after their siblings. Yeah, this is quite common, where the mother has to go out to work. Look after your kids, look after your brothers and sisters, look after this. They might resent it, but they might just take it on because that's what's been presented to them as their role. So before they know, yeah, they're putting others before themselves, because that's how they grew up. That's the environment that they grew up. They had to make sure that everyone was okay, put aside and fed and dealt with before they could deal with themselves. They didn't have their time to themselves, because due to the circumstances, they had to be a mother or father before their time. Yeah? So this person is not used to sharing, not as used to sharing, because they've always had to do that in order to just keep their siblings happy or quiet sometimes. Yeah, so that they can have an easier life. The quicker they dealt with everyone, the better that it was for them and the more time that they had. And also that they may have been asked to be a parent way before they were ready to be a parent. So they might not have known what to do in order to keep things cool. So they did the easiest thing and let a lot go by. Yeah. The only child, because they may not have wanted to be alone all the time and may felt the need to compromise to fit into certain groups. And the third child may have been programmed, like we mentioned earlier, by the mother during pregnancy with all her fears and responsibility, creating a need to compromise for the good of the family. Yeah. These kind of things create the whole passive narcissist, where essentially they have to put their needs last sometimes, or that's what was put into them to do. And sometimes the child worked it out, and sometimes the child was given the responsibility. There's many other circumstances. This ain't the only one, of course, but this is just an obvious one I'm trying to mention so that people can see the parallels in their own life and their own situation and say, okay, what was the first child like? What was the second child like? The second child is always kind of different because the parents have learned some stuff from the first child. So the second child is more outgoing, more this, because the parents are a bit more relaxed this time. Then the first one was the experiment. We didn't know what we was really doing. The second child, we got a bit more now, so we know what to do. So the second child is often more confident and outgoing because they've got the experience. Yeah, and the mother can handle two of them. Third one, like I said, it all gets a bit much. So different thoughts come through. Yeah. The passive narcissist can suffer alone in their mind and are prepared to give someone anything they ask for just to maintain with some sort of love towards them. Yeah. You got a situation where you're people pleased so that people would love you in some sort of format. Yeah. First child, of course, the parents loved you, but as soon as they get a second child, they can't love you exactly the same. Or the third child and fourth child, they got to spread the love. Yeah. So that whole loving you, the actual period where you were doted on, might not be as long as you would have liked in order to balance you out. Yeah. The only child, the parents got to work, do what they got to do. So therefore, the child may have been alone. So that love thing was another paradigm that they were looking for there. So they didn't want to be in that paradigm. And the third child, kind of the opposite, but the same with the first child, is in that there's two people ahead to be concerned of. And usually one of them, if it be the second child, can be a bit rebellious. Because, hey, there's a new child coming along. There's one ahead of us. We don't want to be ignored. So we're going to be something. We're going to make a lot of noise and emotion so that everyone knows that we're here.